Hi Scorpio, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name's Carol, and Scorpio, this is going to be a general reading for December 2024, and I want to welcome all my new subscribers, and especially those that are coming back again, and also those of you that haven't subscribed but are here. It means a lot to me. This channel is officially a year old, and I thought, kind of to celebrate, the year-old channel and also the holidays, I decided to offer a 25% discount on my personal readings. And so if you're interested in a personal reading, the link is in my description box below and also in my comments section. And it'll bring you to my website where there's about 6 or 7 readings there that you can choose from. And one of the readings is going to be the reading that I'm going to be doing today for you. So we're going to be doing the Yellow Cardinal Cross today. And I'm going to begin by, let me see, I feel like, I'm going to begin with the Curious Travels deck. And then I'm going to clarify that with the Ehrenberg Tarot. And both of these are fairly new for me, and I really like how they shuffle. So we will be using these two for you. Now, let's begin right now with, I'm going to start off by what issue you're looking at in December, what you're dealing with, what struggle. Maybe it's a pattern that's coming up for you. And then I will pick another card to show me what some more clarity or maybe what's obscuring it or blocking this issue. And so let's start off with that. If 2 cards come out, then I'll take those 2 cards for 1 and 2. Otherwise, I'll just ask for 1 card for the issue that Scorpio is dealing with this month in December. What issue are they dealing with? Let me see. Didn't have a hold on that. Here we go. There we go. You have the Tower in reverse. Interesting card to start off with. But that's okay. It's in reverse, which is a good thing. All right. Now, what's clarifying or obscuring this Tower moment in reverse? You have the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups right here. All right, now, on the left-hand side, at your right-hand side, we're going to look at the conscious influence on this, and that means it's an influence that you are aware of, and it is having an impact on this situation for sure. So 1 card for that. The 4 of Wands. All right, on your left-hand side, we're going to be looking at the unconscious influence. Now, the unconscious influence is the influence that you are not aware of because it's sitting in your shadow, and it is actually what's having the most impact on the situation that you're sitting in. It's not this conscious influence. We think it is, but it's not. It's this right here. It's your shadow. So we're going to be doing some shadow work on this channel. It's a healing channel. And if you are unfamiliar with shadow work or how to do it, I have left a really good video for you in my description box below, and it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. It's a video I've done from my other channel called Carol Cares, and it's all about facing your own shadow. And it's something I put together on my own because I have been on a shadow work healing journey for the last 7.5 years intensively with my own trauma coach to heal my complex trauma. So we're going to look at what is coming up here that is sitting in your shadow, that's having an influence on this situation right now. That Scorpio sitting in. 1 card, please. There we go. Trying to get out. The 2 of Cups. Two of Cups. And at the top, we're going to look at what's needed for a resolution. What's needed for resolution at the top of this situation right here. Obviously, we're going to get some more information when I clarify everything after this. But what's needed for resolution here? This situation for Scorpio. All right. I wanted to put them back in. It was like, nope, we're coming out. It's the Ace of Cups in reverse. And the Eight of Swords in reverse. It's interesting that that came in reverse, the Eight of Swords, because the overriding energy for you, and we'll talk about it in a second, is the Eight of Swords. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. And at the bottom is guidance from the tarot. And once I've given you the guidance from the tarot, I'm also going to give you some guidance of my own, and that I will suggest some videos, playlists for you from my other channel as well, Carol Cares. And that will be more in line with what you need to work on here once I get the guidance from the tarot. All right, so one card for the guidance of the tarot. Okay, you have the High Priestess, which is first card. And then you have another one that came right here. The Six of Wands in reverse. The Six of Wands in reverse. So those came together. All right, let's clarify everything with the Ehrenberg Tarot. And these were all shuffled before. So I'm going to clarify the Tower right now, in reverse, and the Ten of Cups. A couple cards. You have the Knight of Swords and the Emperor. And let's clarify the Four of Wands here. A couple cards for that. The Six of Wands in reverse. Beautiful cards. Both decks are beautiful cards. Three of Swords. That's an interesting portrayal of the Three of Swords. Like I said, these are newer decks, so I'm not. This one goes with that one. Okay. Oh no, that goes over here. Sorry. Talking to myself. Okay. Two of Cups. Couple clarifiers. This is your shadow. The Devil. Judgment. Two major arcanas sitting in your shadow. I'm going to leave it, but I feel like I may have to pull another card because of these two major arcana. Yeah, I'll leave that and see what happens. I might have to pull another one. All right, so what is needed for resolution at the top? A couple clarifiers. I was like, okay, one more card and then... All right, got a story up here for you. That's going to go with that. I got to make sure these cards are separated so I know what goes with what. I'm always playing with my cards. Okay, couple clarifiers over here for the High Priestess and six. Oop, there's one and one more. Okay. All right. Keep that there in case I need it. You got the Five of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Okay, I need a drink of water because I have all those cards at the top. I'm like, where did they all come from? Means more talking. That's okay. All right. Let's begin. Scorpio. We're going to start off with this overriding energy card that you have here, and I referred to it earlier. It's the Eight of Swords. It's a card that I took from your yearly reading that I did for you in January of 2024. And in December, in that reading, I pulled this card, which was the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is your overriding energy this month. It's telling me that you're feeling very much in a situation that you can't get out of. And I know on my own healing journey, I have often come to those points where it's like, I don't know how to get out of this. And you're just completely up in your head. All of these things are spinning and you just do not see a way out. And there's something I said, this has come up in, I think, reading before this one, about the Eight of Swords. It's that, you know, she has put the blindfold on here. And very much, the swords is our mental energy. The swords talks about these things that we continue to spin on. The things about ourselves, or all these are our thought patterns. And we just think we can't get out of it because we're up in our heads. But the one thing that we forget about is that we have some feet. We have a body. We can walk away from this. And really that is the solution, but it's hard to see it when you are so much up in your head. You don't realize that the answer to all of this lies inwards, going inwards. But we're going to see what's going on with you this month and see why you're all tied up. And then we're going to find, definitely going to give you, I always leave you with a direction, something to do at the end. Because I don't just, come here and lay out all these cards and tell you, this is the way it is with you this month. But there's definitely always, a little bit of work that we need to do. This is a healing journey. It's a process. And so we get at this a little bit at a time. And so I give you a little, the tarot will tell you actually what to do, where you can begin to heal this. And so what's the situation that you're sitting in, Scorpio, this month? Well, you have the Tower card here, and it's in reverse. In an upright position, the Tower card comes out when there is definitely a crucial point where there's been a real crucial change in your life that's going to change your direction. And a lot of times when you're on this healing journey, these points of our life, when they come, are very, very, very painful. And it's only something that you can look at in hindsight and go, oh, that's why that had to happen. And a lot of times when I've had these painful I'm going to call them baseball bats from the universe. It's when something needed to change. It was just not, and sometimes I didn't even know it was supposed to change. But it was the universe deciding that, you know what, there's a different course of action that needs to take place here. And so I'm going to take this big baseball bat and I'm going to hit Carol over the head. And something happens. And it's the most painful frickin' thing ever. And it changes you in some direction. And then you realize, after it's all said and done, when you've done all the healing, when you've going through all these emotions and feeling them, then you realize it. And so I'm going to say that just came to me now. I was going to take this in a different direction. I'm going to say that there was a tower moment for you. Because this 10 of Cups is behind it and it's reversed. I was going to call this a tower moment in reverse. But I was going to say it was like your final red flag until you get the real tower moment, which is how I see the the tower moment usually. Because of this 10 of Cups, it was like, all of a sudden this idea came in my head. It was just like, something's happened. You've already had a tower moment. You've just had it, I think. You're living through it right now. There's something extremely painful that's happened to you. But you're not wanting to feel. Because the 10 of Cups is that full range of emotion that we have. Full range of emotions at the 10. The rainbow of all these cups, these emotions here. And, if you notice it almost, there's children with these stars on their head playing here, healing, almost, dancing. The star is all about healing. They're at the bottom of this full range of emotions here. It looks like a sun. It looks like the joy. It looks like a joy card. I mean, why would the 10 of Cups be, all these kids playing and this joy? Well, joy would be one of the 10 of Cups that we feel. We're all meant to feel our emotions. We're all meant to have access to all these emotions. Emotions are meant to come in. We feel them, we process them, and they go out. They're meant to flow like water, flow in and flow out. But what happens is we block them. When something happens to us that's very, very painful, and we don't want to feel them, we block them. We block them. But there's a part of you, and here's the Knight. There's a part of you have a Knight of Sword here. You have this Knight of Sword that's coming in. It's a part of you. We all have this part right here. It's called our freedom fighter. There's 4 of these Knights in the deck. They're fighting for freedom. It's like an adolescent part of you that wants freedom. It's the sword to get back to your truth and who you really are. And a lot of times when this is the part that's coming out right now, and I think you're feeling like maybe you're someone there's this part of you that's wanting to get back to your truth, that wants to get back to this healing, that wants to kind of understand what this tower moment that happened to you is all about. And this is when this part comes out here, and it says it's time now. And maybe this is the part that will come out. Might explain what happened here. This is the part that comes out that kind of cuts people off, that kind of says, you're out of my life now. It's the part with the sword that says, well, these people are dangerous for me, and starts to cut people away. And maybe this is where you are. Maybe you're in so much pain right now because of what's happened to you that you're starting to kind of want to push people away, and people, it's time for people to leave, or maybe someone has left, or maybe you've had some sort of heartbreak yourself, and this is what this tower moment is right here for you, that this pain that you do not want to feel. But there's this part of you that is so wanting you. Look at the eyes of this part that wants you to get back to your truth. I told you that oftentimes I blanked out on what I told you. But I will say something about this Tower moment again. That has to do with this night and wanting to get back to your truth. I know what I told you. I told you about this journey being with this Tower card. It's always something that we see in hindsight. We kind of understand why this had to happen. Like you're sitting here with this Tower moment and you're thinking, I don't understand why this happened. I don't understand why this happened. But you've got this part of you that's wanting to pull you in this direction towards your authenticity and why this happened. What you need to understand is oftentimes these things happen for us where these baseball bats come in. The universe says, here's a baseball bat for you. It oftentimes is a pattern that shows up again. So you could be experiencing this again. And it's a pattern that shows up for us because it's something that happened to us when we were younger. And we have to realize that this has happened to us when we were younger. And we need to go back and heal this because it might still keep happening. So if this is on repeat for you, if this Tower moment is something you have experienced before, it's saying to you that you need to pay attention to this. You need to feel, because there's a part of you right here that's trying to get back to your authenticity and what really happened to you. And that's why this Tower moment is happening for you. But this Emperor card is in the end here. It's coming, and this is a big card of, it's a universal force kind of, it's kind of overlooking all of this. And it's like, it's what I call the imaginary rules of society that we've learned growing up, like not supposed to do this, shouldn't do this, not allowed to do this. So there's some part of this, I don't know, I'm not sure if I really understand what it is. Maybe I'll come back to it, but there's definitely a part of this that's kind of overriding this whole situation you're in right now, that's telling you that you're not allowed to do this, or you shouldn't do this. It's something that you've learned growing up, this imaginary rule that you're still following. And you're being asked to look at it. Because I'm wondering if you're not feeling because you were told not to feel. I'm wondering if you're not feeling. You're not allowing yourself to feel because you were told to put those emotions away a long time ago. I don't even know what's in your shadow right now. It could have something to do with that. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That's what's blocking you. Now you've got this incredible, that's what's keeping you tied up. You have this, think about it. You have this part of you that's saying you need to feel what's just happened to you. And then you've got this other part of you that's going, no, don't you dare feel. Don't you dare feel. You're not allowed to feel. Those feelings are dangerous. Don't you dare go near that. Those are those imaginary rules that you've learned when you were younger. And that's what's going on with you right now. Whew. I think I got to the bottom of it. Over here, not really. We gotta dig some more here. But over on your left-hand side, you have, as your conscious influence, what do you know? What's influencing this? Well, you have this Four of Wands. Yeah. Damn. The Four of Wands talks about freedom. Like finally getting some freedom, finally walking away from something that's been very controlling. Something's happened to you. Either you've walked away from somebody, or somebody has walked away from you. And that's what the Four of Wands is walking away. And then the next card that's behind it is the Six of Wands. It's in reverse here. And the Six of Wands, the sixes in my deck have a duality to them. And this particular six speaks about this individual. This is I love this deck because it pulls pieces of the Rider-Waite So it's pulling the victory. It's a victory march here. He's one coming back from, the soldiers coming back from a war or some kind of a battle that went on. And so on the outside, this card very much looks like this is a victory. And this is the duality of the sixes. But what you don't see is what was lost here. And it's in reverse here. And so there's very much you have walked away or somebody has walked away from you. And there's this grief behind it that you are not wanting to touch. You're not wanting to feel. And this is the Tower moment that's come up that has brought you with this incredible, incredible grief of this walking away. And it's caused this incredible pain, this Three of Swords, that you are feeling incredibly tied up and not seeing any way out of this. And, you know, it really feels to me like there's somebody that's walked away from you. Maybe that's what's causing this incredible heartbreak. I'm going to go to your shadow now, and we're going to find out how this is going to, this is the mirror work here. So this conscious outer world is a reflection of your inner world. There is something that's relating here. This breakup, this walking away, this Tower moment, needing to grieve, can't grieve, not allowed to grieve. Let's go in here. So here's the Two of Cups. This is from your childhood or your adolescence. Like I said, I might have to pull some more cards for this. It depends on where I go with it. Like I'm going, I'm not sure. I'll see. I just kind of say what comes to me. And so your Two of Cups is, it's the beginning of the cup suit, near the beginning, right? You have your ace and then your two, goes to 10. And this is, in this particular card, it's showing you these, they look like snakes. They're very much intertwined, almost like they're one. Very, very intimate, very close. They've become one. And this talks about, you know, that beginning of an intimate relationship of finding out like really who you are, getting to know you, knowing you. And so this is what's sitting in your shadow here, the beginning of, you know, knowing you, your authentic self and who you are. But the devil is coming here with this pair of eyes. Devil speaks about attachments, our attachments, things that we get attached to. When you are younger, in order for us to develop a very healthy relationship with ourselves, we need to be able to have become attached to somebody when we're younger. I'm not sure you had that opportunity. I'm not sure you had that opportunity to form healthy attachments. Healthy attachments when you were younger. And then as a final card here, you have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is often called the Awakening card. It's the Awakening card to who you are. The Awakening card to finding out, you know, more about you. And the coffin was closed, remained closed. You have this loud horn right here trying to wake this individual up. But it looks like that opportunity that you had when you were younger to form healthy relationships, attachments, was closed, was not allowed to take place. I said I might need to pull another card, and I am going to pull one more card. And that is going to be the card that's going to give me just that little bit more information, I'm hoping. Yeah, I can see how it's already, let's just take one more card. This is 6 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups is definitely, again, it has the duality in it, and it has a duality of, it usually is a younger child in the Rider-Waite deck. It's giving to, an older child is giving to a younger child. It is my card, beside my pages in my deck, it is my card of my inner child card. But if I look at this picture alone, it looks like a beautiful, innocent card of this child just being able to smell these beautiful tulips. And I just feel like you weren't allowed to form attachments when you were younger. You weren't allowed to be a child. You have attachment issues. You weren't allowed to form these important relationships. Authentic relationships. There we go. It just came to me right now. I mean, this card looks so authentic, so real. I mean, just the act of smelling, I love that act of smelling a flower. It's just so simple. It's so childlike. I'm going to say that this rejection that you're feeling right now, this Tower moment, I'm going to say it's not the first time. This is not the first time that someone has rejected you. It's come up before. It's a childhood wound. It's a deep, deep wound here, and you've been rejected again. This Tower moment was in reverse. And I did say how that you've been rejected again. It might be this, not that you've been rejected, but that this has happened again. So I feel like this has happened again for you, and it's like, here it is again, and what's coming up for you is this needs healing right here. You have an inner child. You have an inner child that was hurt very much when they were younger, and they need healing. There's an inner part of you that wasn't given the opportunity to form authentic relationships, and you have this Knight right here that we talked about that's wanting to form, that's wanting to be able to have authentic relationships, the freedom to have authentic relationships here. And we talked about this Four of Wands over here, this freedom, but it's walking away though there. I'm seeing here that this is, someone's walked away from you, and this isn't the first time. And so we're going to look at what's needed for resolution, and you have a big story at the top here, but that's okay. We'll get to it. So the first thing you need for resolution is, and of course it's it's in reverse, but you have an Ace of Cups from the universe. What's needed for resolution is that you take this cup. I know it's on offer, but you're resisting it. And I know it is because you're in a hell of a lot of pain right now. You're in so much pain. And that's why you're feeling so tied up. And the universe is saying, here's the Eight of Wands coming back to you again. I know you feel so tied up. I know you do. But if you take this cup, if you decide to feel this grief that you need to grieve, you're all tied up, will turn around. That's what's going to turn. That's what's going to turn that around. This feeling of feeling all tied up is going to turn around. But what you need to understand is that over here, this is a pattern of when you were younger, of when you were rejected, of when you didn't have anybody to hold on to and attach on to. And so this rejection is coming up again. And so what's needed for resolution? Now here's the cup on offer. This is what you need, is to take this cup, and you need to, here's the Queen of Cups. Here is the first Queen that's shown up, I believe. This is, yes, and you have another Queen over here. This is the feminine side to you. And we all have a masculine side, and we all have a feminine side. Our feminine side is the one that's been repressed for so long in us. And this feminine is the Queen of the Cup. And she's the Queen of emotions. So you're being asked to take on this feminine aspect of ourself that we all have. And that's the one of feeling all of our emotions. And I'm thinking that you might be sitting in some real hopelessness right now. Because when this Queen comes up and she's been, pushed down for so long, that, this grief that needs to come up. Oftentimes when we're sitting in hopelessness, depression, what's sitting behind that, believe it or not, is a shit ton of grief. And if we could only get past this depression, but the depression shows up, our hopelessness shows up as a block to this grief that we need to get to. Because the grief, if you had to put almost like all the emotions in order, the grief is always the last final emotion that we're always aiming to get to. Because the grief is what's going to help this little inner child right here grieve what they didn't get, those attachments they weren't able to have when they were younger. And that's what you're trying to get to. And you need to get to that by getting back in your body. And when I talked about that earlier, about this Eight of Swords, where, you have this body that you're forgetting about. We tend to be up in our heads and we're so blocked. Our ego self will keep us up in here because it does not want us. If there's one emotion that our ego self does not like, it's our grief. It's petrified of grief. It thinks that it's going to eat you alive if you go there. But it's the most healing emotion ever. And to continue on here, you have the Two of Wands here. Once you decide to get back into your body and start to feel this grief, there's a new direction here for you. And I think you might be feeling it. This Two of Wands here is a nudge. There's a nudge here. There's a new direction. The universe wants to take you in a new direction. And that's what happens after we grieve. When we grieve, it's like we're letting go. Well, it is. We're letting go of the old. Letting go of this old that's sitting here in the shadow that you needed to get back to. And then we're going to move into a new direction here. Here's the Fool card. Here's the Fool card. The Fool only comes out when it's needed. And when it's needed. Did I say when it's needed? Yeah. Fool only comes out when it's needed. It can come out anywhere, but it'll come out at the exact moment we need it. It's like the universe wants you to trust. Have complete faith that when you decide to go inwards and when you grieve, there's going to be a new direction for you. It's like the universe wants to push you off the cliff that we usually see this Fool in the Rider-Waite deck. It wants to push you. It's time. This is a desperate change that's needed for you right now. And then you get the Six of Swords right after the Fool. The Six of Swords comes up in my deck when there's only one thing that if you see this mother here holding on to this child, you know, this child is very, very scared, but it's sitting with its mother here. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm thinking when you're young, I don't think you felt safe. You did not feel supported for sure. But this card comes out when there's safety that's needed here. The universe wants you to get to a place where you're safe and where you feel supported. You need to be in a place where you're safe and you're supported right now. That's what you need right now. You need to be surrounded by people who are going to be safe for you and who are going to support you and validate you. If I did not have my own therapist that I have now, that I've had for 7.5 years, I don't know where I'd be right now. She has helped me. She is my safety net. And sometimes we need that one person right now. And maybe you need somebody that's around you that is going to be safe. And sometimes when we don't have that safe person, we have ourselves. And that's the beautiful thing about this journey. And so what's the advice from the tarot here before I give you my advice as to what kind of videos you can watch? And well, the High Priestess comes in here, and the High Priestess comes in when she's Major Arcana card. She is the first half, the first archetype of the feminine energy, or the first half of the feminine archetype, if you want, in the Major Arcana. And she represents our intuition, and she represents our inner knowing. You have this quality, this intuition. This is another feminine quality that we all have. We're introduced here to the Queen of Cups, which is the emotions, and now you have the intuition. You have the power to go inwards now and to find your own direction and what you need to do here. This is called intuition, and we all have it. And the way that we access our intuition and our own inner guidance, our own inner wisdom, is to get back into our body, right? Because you're feeling quite tied up here. But this intuition you have, this inner knowing, it's going to help you. And behind it is, to clarify, it was the Six of Wands that's in reverse here. The Six of Wands is, again, it's a card that's, did we get to that one already? We had that one, or is this, no, this is the first one. The Six, oh yes, we did have it. I knew we had it. I know when I have it. So you've seen the Six of Wands in the other deck. And so here it is again. And I've already established, I don't have to talk about it again, but we've established that, you know, the duality card of this is the grief and what you've lost. And so the universe wants you to get back into your body and go inwards. You have everything it takes, all the answers in you, and you need to grieve. It really wants you to grieve your loss here, this Tower moment here. I know you're sitting with, this is the Five of Cups here. And the Five of Cups talks about, you know, this focus on these 3 cups that have been spilled and these 2 cups that are still standing. You don't even notice. This is a card very much of hopelessness. It can be a card sometimes of loneliness. And I know that's where you're sitting right now, where you feel so completely hopeless. You're depressed. You're feeling like you can't get out of this. It feels absolutely horrible to be sitting in this pain. I have been here. I know what it feels like. But you've got this queen, another queen. You have the High Priestess. You have the Queen of Wands. You have the Queen of Cups. This feminine energy. This call for you. And the Ten of Cups. All that range of emotion. This call for you to get back into your body and to feel. She's the one. She's the one here. Here's this creative direction here. There is a new direction for you that's waiting for you. And I know you don't feel and don't see your way out of this right now, but you need to get grounded. I'm going to give you some videos on getting grounded and videos on grief, because you need to get grounded. And once you get yourself grounded, you get into a safe place and you allow yourself to grieve, you're going to be taken into a new direction. And you have to trust. The Fool says to trust and have faith that the universe is going to do this for you. And so, Scorpio, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This is the most difficult journey in the world, but it's the most important one. So I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.